Hold on one second. Yeah, that's good. I roast and grind and French press my own coffee beans, and I'm having a blast doing it. I guess if I get too lazy to not do it, then I'll rely on the stuff that I already have in the cabinet. Well, welcome to another Daybreak session. Not necessarily an ASMR, although in the morning I talk a little bit lower, with a lower volume, only because of it's early and I don't want to wake everyone up. Daybreak is usually about issues, and I would love to be able to do a daily show like this and talk about things to start your day. Daybreak isn't necessarily a motivational show. It's more of life content, let me put it that way, and me going over some of my Twitter posts. You can follow me on Twitter at George Bruno. Anyways, good morning. The Sultan of Silver here with you. It is 5 a.m. I have my cup of coffee that I made. Ground that up, and I can just sit there with my face in the container of the ground coffee. It's magnificent. So let's get into this right now. What I'm going to do is just talk about some of my Twitter feed and ask for your comments and discussion. Do so respectfully. And I think we'll have a good time. Men, women are not looking to settle down. They are looking to settle you down. What do I think of that? I think that a man never needs to settle down. Can you throw an anchor down with one woman? Of course. Of course. I did. And I would hope to do so in the future. But I don't want to settle down. I believe that women want to tame you, and I think what that does is it takes away your essence, the thing that makes you, you. Birds fly, fish swim, men game. Now, when I say game, that doesn't mean, to some people it means going out and picking up women. Game might mean having influence in the boardroom or on a sales call. It's actually all of those things. Should you stop gaming your woman once you get her? No, never, never. Although I believe it is female nature to want to control, hence what I call these henpecked men that are, the guys that say, well, the boss, let me check with the boss first, or my better half. She's not your boss. She's not your better half. She's your wife. She's your girlfriend. And if you want to survive and thrive under the same roof, you can't have this attitude, happy wife, happy life, because you lose yourself. Now, what you don't want to flip that, and you don't want her to lose herself either. A lot of women have complained about that they've lost themselves in their marriage. But I'm speaking to mainly men. Men are my audience here, for the most part. Do not lose what makes you, you. Keep your weight in check. Keep your diet in check. Keep your body going. The things that made you attractive, get back to those things again. Women are not looking to settle down. They're looking to settle you down. Keep that in mind. If you're single and you're out there, a woman will initially love your game. She will initially love your approach, your swagger, your intellect. And then what happens to these men is they end up talking about my better half and the boss, and if I did that, I'll be sleeping on the couch or I'll be in the doghouse. No. Lose that mentality. That's living an already defeated life. If she dresses sexier and nicer for a night out with the girls than a night out with you, then you're already fucked. Gentlemen, other men should not get the best of your woman. Do you understand? You need to be the reason why she looks pretty, does her hair, does her face, pays attention to what she wears. If she's going out and wearing short shorts and a halter top and is all leggy and heeled sandals when she goes out with the girls, but when she's with you, she's with ripped jeans and a tank top and somewhat frumpy, then you have a problem. You have a problem. Most men are very blind to this. Oh, we'll just let her go out and have a night out with the girls. This is my opinion about nights out with the girls. It's a woman's attempt to check her market value. Some people would call it sexual market value. I just like to say market value. To see how many guys will approach her, how many looks that she gets, how many approaches that she gets, and it validates her. Does that mean you're not doing your job? If you are a weaker type man, and I'm not saying that as an insult, these videos are not to insult men. It's almost like, in the 12-step programs, where they say, hi, I'm George, I'm an alcoholic. If you're a weaker man, own up to it. Take extreme ownership over bad decisions that you've made and who you currently are. If you're not the strong man, the decisive man that you want to be and that you should be. If you're a weaker man, you're going to tolerate, and people are going to tolerate more and more, and people are going to push the limits more and more with you, whether it be the woman in your life, whether it be your kids, whether it be your buddies. People will push limits. That's people's nature. Now, she is not going out and checking her market value because you're a weak man. She's doing it because she's a woman. Women want to know, does that mean you're not complimenting her enough at home, so she's got to go out and get it somewhere else? There might be some element of that. I'm not sure, totally sure about that. But I believe that it is human nature and female nature to want to have some type of affirmation of attractiveness and sexiness on a regular basis. Hence, if she dresses sexier and nicer for a night out with the girls than a night out with you, you're already fucked. So there's your magic crystal ball answer. And may I also add that a night out with the girls is not about the girls. If you think that, you're already fucked. Move on to the next topic. And I talk mainly in this particular edition about relational issues between men and women, mostly for the men, obviously. Because you're one mouse click or swipe away from being replaced, you must be a G. You must be the gangsta. You must be a gamer. You must stay on top of things. You are the one who knocks. You hear me? And of course, all the Breaking Bad fans will get that particular reference. So, if you don't become the lord of your own domain, you better learn how to enjoy a roller coaster ride and enjoy crazy about every 2 years when crazy rears its head and you have to deal with it for the rest of your life if you're with the same person for the rest of your life. Establish your leadership. I'm not talking about being a dick. Feminists will come out and say, oh, you're being sexist. Fuck off. I'm not talking about being a dick. I'm not talking about being an asshole, because I've always said women want a decisive man who is considerate, not a pushy person. I don't want a pushy person in my life, period. I don't care if it's male or female. And I will tell you, younger guys, it doesn't get easier as you get older. You think that your life experience makes things get easier. The only thing that gets easier is if you get off the roller coaster. Get off the roller coaster when it comes to relationships and the opposite sex. Your income is closely connected to your sexual market value. Freedom is the new currency. Income should liberate you, not enslave you. That speaks for itself. Because the current sexual marketplace, and for those of you that are not used to this language, when I say sexual marketplace, I'm really referring to the intergender marketplace. It really, don't let the word sex or sexual lead you to believe that it's about sex. I'm talking about intergender relationships. When you are out and about, when you are at work, when you go out at night, when you go shopping. That's the sexual marketplace. It's out there. And because the sexual marketplace is not getting better, you have to get better. You are either a lord or a serf in this system. Never pay top dollar for used merchandise. A 1972 Toyota Corolla for sale for $28,000. Would you pay it? Of course not. It's got high miles, it's been around, but yet you're putting out new car money for a used car. In your choosing of women, feminists will hate this, but I don't mean to put down any human being, period, as some would. But what you don't want to do is put your move all your chips on a bad hand. There's a lot of guys that are giving up a lot, paying top dollar for used merchandise. You don't want that, because with it comes problems. And with it comes the roller coaster. If you don't become a top 5% guy, then your competition is always going to be those men that are on her cell phone, and they are there. A friend of mine said, if you're checking your mate's cell phone, then you have the problem, not her. I completely disagree with that. Completely 100% disagree with that. Let me put it this way. If she doesn't account for her apps on her phone and the texts that come in, then it's her problem, not your problem. That's not to make you feel guilty. When you're with somebody, it is okay to have the expectation of fidelity and not even flirting at all, if that's possible, which I don't think it's possible. You have competition, guys, constantly. The sexual marketplace is a weird place to be. It's no longer just dating sites or bars. It's everywhere. You have to be in the top 5% of men. Does that mean you have to look like George Clooney? No, you don't. But you should take care of yourself like George Clooney. Does that make sense? A well-groomed, fit, mentally healthy man is an attractive man. Doesn't matter what his facial hair is. Doesn't matter how much money he has, although that is a huge part of it. Do not glory in brokenness. It's okay to seek revenue. It's okay to want more money and do whatever it takes to make that. You're doing it for you. I can help you get in the top 5% if you want that kind of counsel. You can email me, gb@georgebruno.com. I do take private consultation clients, and I work with you over a period of time. Revenue is the aspirin you take every night to make you feel good in the morning. When money is flowing, things seem to work okay. There's a lot of rich guys that are already defeated on the inside. They know how to make money, but they are defeated and they get taken to the cleaners. That will not be happening to you. The common denominator amongst all failures is excuses. There's many things that put your money and your wealth at risk. One of those things is to partner with an emotionally driven human or work for one. Intellect will always be subservient to emotion. And I rhetorically ask the question, what could possibly go wrong? Get off the roller coaster and don't partner or yoke yourself with emotionally driven people. Now for guys, think about it. Most women, I'll step right out and say all women are emotionally driven. They're not intellectually driven. If you play that game, if you become a player in that ball field, then you are willingly getting on the roller coaster ride. Get off of it. Don't play the emotional game. You don't have to be a statue either, but get off of the emotional roller coaster. Partnering with emotionally driven human beings for a man is not a good thing. You will not thrive as a man. I've always thought it would be better to... Is it better to love a woman or understand a woman? And I think it's better to understand a woman. Although that insults most women. What you need to do is understand birds fly, fish swim. I don't hate a bird for flying. I don't hate fish for swimming. That's because that's what they do. That's their nature. There's certain things that is consistent amongst all women because they're women. Don't hate them for being women. Understand that. When you understand them, then you can play the game better. And I hate using the word game all the time. But you can navigate life better when you understand a woman. I was making a joke yesterday about the Stevie Wonder song. And I said if Stevie Wonder was awakened, he would rewrite his song, I Just Called to Say, I Understand You. What if on Valentine's Day we gave the women in our lives I understand you cards rather than I love you cards? They don't want to hear that, do they? But for your mental health, for your survival, for you to be edgy, for you to be dominant in your world of work, in your sphere of influence at work and at play and amongst your friends, it's better to be informed than to be in love. I hope that makes sense. Heavy thoughts for 5 o'clock in the morning. It's actually just starting to get light right now. And I will end with a poem by Rudyard Kipling. This was written in 1943. A poem from a man to his son on being a man. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, and if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make your dreams matter, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Rudyard Kipling, 1943. Put your comments and thoughts down below. Visit the sponsors down below of this video. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you again soon on another Daybreak. Have a great day.